Well, it's been revealed that the 28-year-old will take on a new job working for President Donald Trump's MAGA Inc. super PAC as a top advisor. So just what is her role in MAGA going to look like going forward, and just how high are her ambitions? She has run for office before. I think she ran for the Senate in, was it New Hampshire, which she failed at. But I suspect now, after her stint as press secretary, she'll have a damn good chance of making it to Congress if she wants to. Also, who is a possible candidate, to fill her shoes to take over the job? Let's get the thoughts of political reporter at the Daily Mail, Victoria Churchill. Hi, Victoria. Good to see you. First of all, what is this job she's got at the super PAC? Just explain to British viewers as well. What is a PAC, a super PAC?
Always great to be back on with you, Ben. So Karoline's new job is actually a job that she had before she joined the Trump campaign formally back in 2024. And it's with the MAGA Inc. super PAC. So it's with a group aligned with the president. It's led by some of his top advisors, several of whom have, recently left the White House to focus more on the campaign side, because we have, very strict restrictions on political campaigning using government funds that extends to the White House as well as Congress. And so now Leavitt is going to be among the top voices fighting for the president's agenda in the midterms here in 2026. And, here we have less than 75 days away from the midterms. So, definitely we were seeing a lot of people that have left the White House, some temporarily, some, looking more like a long-term decision like Leavitt's. But it's pretty typical for about, 18 months to 2 years into the administration to see turnover. This happens in both Republican and Democrat administrations, and this is actually quite a significantly lower level of turnover than that we've seen in the second Trump administration as opposed to the first one.
Yeah, I sympathise with her. She's just had a second child. She's got a beautiful family. It must be one of the most stressful jobs in the world, being President Trump's press secretary. He fires from the hip. He's lively, certainly. And she's done a great job. She's been great with the media, been great with the press in the briefing room. And, we wish her well. Just to clarify, a super PAC, Victoria, is a political committee that can raise and spend unlimited funds from, donations from corporations and so on. So it's basically a lobbying firm, right? A lobbying organisation.
Well, political campaign organization, that's definitely what her focus is going to be. And like I said, it's a job that she's done before she formally joined the campaign. But, super PACs are going to be spending on behalf of candidates, particularly those they see as most aligned with Trump. So, I'm sure MAGA Inc. is going to be spending very heavily in some of the top Senate and U.S. House races. As you mentioned, Karoline herself ran for the U.S. House previously. So, maybe that's something that we see her take a step in the future. But I think for at least the next few months, she's going to be very focused on making sure that the president's agenda doesn't stall in Washington by Democrats getting the majority in either the House or the Senate.
OK, let's talk about the exciting news. Who is going to replace Karoline Leavitt? We have Scott Jennings, the sort of right-winger who's on CNN. He's contracted to CNN. We have Anna Kelly, the principal deputy press secretary. She's pretty good. She's very, very articulate and lively on the airwaves when she appears on the media. Who else is in the running, Victoria? And who do you think is going to be bagging that job?
Those are definitely some of the bigger names that folks would recognize. There's also some other people kind of within MAGA world. Stephen Miller, he's recently rejoined the White House after, being a really long time advisor in Trump world. So, he could be up there at that podium. We're also looking at some potential people that have also been around, but not necessarily in the White House. I think Alina Habba has said she's not interested. So that was a name that was in the mix for a while. We're also seeing names, for example, like Elizabeth Pipko. She was a RNC spokesperson during the last campaign, and she's done some events with Freedom 250. So, it's definitely going to be a large swath of people that are competing for the job. I think some other names that have been in the mix that may not necessarily end up being the final selection are people like Tricia McLaughlin, who was spokesperson at DHS, but she's also about to have a child as well. So she's moved back home to Ohio, at least for the time being. And then another former DHS spokesperson is Katie Zacharia. She's, all over Fox News and outlets like that all the time. Fox News, Newsmax is mainly what you see her on, both before she joined the administration and since. She had a brief stint which kind of aligned with the ends of Kristi Noem's term. I think she probably would have stayed longer if Noem was in the role longer. but we all know that the president is a big fan of Katie as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who they pick. I think the president obviously is going to have a very large part in that decision, as well as Susie Wiles. One of my colleagues reported that Wiles was seen meeting with Jennings in DC recently. So it'll be interesting to see who they settle on. And they might settle on somebody quick ahead of the midterms, but they might also take their time. Of course, during Leavitt's maternity leave, we saw lots of the top cabinet secretaries do White House briefings. That may be some way that they fill that, at least in the immediate after her departure at the end of this week.
Okay. Thank you so much, Victoria. Really appreciate it. It's going to be an exciting race. Maybe they won't have one. Maybe it'll just be JD Vance and Rubio popping up every now and then and doing some briefings. So we'll see. Victoria Churchill, political reporter at the Daily Mail. Thank you so much. Let's